Hello everyone, my name is Yabaguy alongside Crazy Caleb. Say hi, Caleb.
Pleasure to be here.
And today is the KTaNE League EFM Quarterfinals C2 matchup. It's a three-way, three-bomb battle royale to determine which one player will move on to the semifinals. Remember, if you've never played Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, check out the greatest asymmetrical co-op game in the world at keeptalkinggame.com and join the official Discord at discord.gg/KTaNE. Caleb, as we preview this matchup, these players have made it in part due to their prowess with their three lists of devious modules. Which module or modules do you think will stand out for each player?
I definitely know for Eden's list, misordered keys can really bite you in the butt if you mess up some very interesting rules that have messed me up personally myself. For Procyon's list, with the stuff that isn't vetoed, I'd say definitely life iteration, because that is definitely heavily error prone if you're not lucky, and you happen to get unlucky with cases like a 4-year iteration. And for Espic's list is a very heavily reaction and speed based, so probably maybe phosphorescence or maybe a sound design could definitely trick our players up, because I know Procyon as well cannot hear music as well compared to other people.
The winner of each bomb, remember, is the player who either disarms their bomb the quickest, diffuses their bomb the quickest if everyone solves it, or if anyone blows up, or if everyone blows up rather, then whoever disarms the most modules is the winner. In case of a tie, then the bomb is tied in that case. With that, it is time for bomb one, and there will be a rotating advantage. We'll get straight into it, listen to Espic's audio.
Quaver.
It is his advantage. So he will have 5 modules, the other 2 contestants have 3.
Looking at this bomb, we have quite a few difficult stuff. We've got a Jelly Beans, which would be a bit of a longer interactive. Also have a Sens, I believe that is from Procyon's list?
Yes.
I'm correct? Yes. And also, there was a Quaver I did see, and which Eden is immediately going for in the top right there. Expert difficulty, which will get him like about 50% of the module, I believe, done, or if not 100%. So
the settings allow for quicker completion. The sounds you heard on your screen there were Espic and Eden, for that matter, but it was Espic's module doing sound design. Thank goodness it has that preview button, which makes the module much more accessible, but experience is definitely the greatest teacher on that one.
now looking over at Procyon's side, he's getting Quaver going as well. And Espic is currently taking care of synchronization, which is another one that can be a bit tricky to input if you don't pay attention to the different speeds of the modules of the lights.
Eden was taking a look at drive-in window. Maybe has played the tape and is taking that in and Simon sends inputs? That's a lot of multitasking.
Indeed.
Here comes a Quaver input for Procyon. Trying to get this module done as quickly as possible.
Aspect currently with the lead of 2 solves right now, both with sync and something else done. I'm not exactly sure what else he solved.
Sound design, most likely.
Most likely, yeah. Eden now taking a look at Sens, getting the Sens read, which can take a bit but it can be a bit faster if you know how to read the actual Morse and decompose the colors without having to write them down.
Really setting that light at anything other than seizure mode is just wasting time. No, I'm just kidding. Get that knob cranked all the way over to 360 degrees. Espic on Lego, Procyon on synchronization. 2 solves, 1 and 1 for Espic. Eden and Procyon, about right for Espic's advantage bomb to this point.
Looks like Espic is going through the Lego rules right now, it seems. Got that 3, I got those 3 3x2 pieces.
Which way is
and
up?
He's building.
Top or bottom? Procyon is inputting synchronization out without much hitch. And now it's just the sync rule. Hit sync on a last digit 2, and yes, they've got it.
Alright, nice. Looks like Espic also held Legos there for a minute.
Drive-in window is playing.
Yep.
Chowder will cost $20.
The most ridiculous programming language ever.
$60.
Someone will correct me in chat, but it's up there.
Bathroom code.
Indeed it is.
$5.
Alright, so both Eden and Procyon now looking at sends. I imagine Eden is probably wrapping up the work soon. Here, oh, and he's going for the submission right now. And he's got the correct answer. Nicely done. All of them have now 2 solves. And Espik is now currently trying to, I believe he can solo Mastermind Cruel, correct? So he's going through that read right now.
Espik's module list only had 4 vetoes. Each player individually gets 3 vetoes off each other's list. And there was a lot of overlap on which modules were vetoed away from Espik. In this case, both of 3 Cryptic Steps and Synesthesia were taken away from him. Eden did not want World's Largest Button, and Procyon did not want... This would be Harmony Sequence in this case.
Eden recently just inputted a correct answer for drive-in window. Espik also input an answer for drive-in window, which is the exact same answer that Eden did submit, so he will have that correct. So he is just holding answers right now. He's doing the tactic, I believe, of holding answers, and I think we'll see if that benefits him or not in the long run.
My prediction is that's going to become League meta, because remember, strikes take away time. That's a very well-known fact to all these players, of course. And the later you tank the strike, the less time you lose. So why not take advantage of that?
Yeah, of course. Espik solving Mastermind Cruel with flying colors, no problem there at all. And moving on to very colored squares, which can be quick, interactive, or it can be your worst nightmare if you can get lucky with the different color rules that you can get in here.
Just don't get messed up if the color changes on you.
Exactly. But it looks like he's having no trouble at all with that very colored squares, as this appears to be a pretty easy one, and he's almost done with it.
It ain't over till it's over, though.
Yeah, exactly.
3 solves apiece. Now 4.
Eden, he's taking a look at bridges, which I'm not exactly sure how that personally works, but he just solves it without any hesitancy.
Bridge is based on a popular logic puzzle, which you can find on many puzzle-solving websites, much like Nonogram would be. There's a little bit of edge work involved in terms of the... something, I think it's the serial number, gosh, help me. It moves the symbols along, but otherwise each symbol stands in for a number, and that's how many lines you need to have connect to it, among other rules, like not having the lines cross, and making sure they all connect to one another. 4 solves apiece, we're tied, 3 ways.
This is really, really going to be close. I imagine this is like everyone's probably super duper stressed right now.
And we had a few modules that everybody's avoiding. Langton's Ant, not happening. Jelly Beans, nobody's touched that one. This will be very interesting to see how they fend with these modules down the stretch, as we tick towards 9 minutes left.
Let's see what Eden is going to be looking at next, because he just solved very colored as well.
Procyon gets Mastermind Cruel, 5 for them. Mastermind
taking a look at...
Sorry to Caleb to interrupt there. The easy trick of Mastermind Cruel is put a white number on the left, white or blue number on the left side, and then the right number tells you how many are correct once you sift past the single edge work condition the color on the right is telling you about. But the left number tells you that, and the right-hand side tells you the color. Trust me, it's an easy module.
I don't doubt it.
Eden's coming in with synchronization. Espik contemplating bridges, Procyon on Lego.
I believe Espik might also be holding an answer for sends as well, because I imagine he just looked at that a minute ago. So we'll see what happens.
Lying in wait, that dump might happen soon. Eden
is currently in the lead with 6 solves, so this will definitely be very close. Eden also taking a look at Legos as well, similar to Procyon.
Bridge is starting to get dialed in for Espik. A tiny green light in the top right corner indicating there is one unique solution to this puzzle.
Procyon's entering in Legos right now, and I believe after this, if he gets this module correct, which he does, he will be heading over, yes, to Langton's Ant, just as I expected.
They got it. Langton's Ant, a devious, solve-dependent, fussy, potentially heartbreaking module. Then again, so many of these modules with the fussiest of details as Espik comes in with bridges. These players make them look so easy. Drive-in window complete 6-all.
Nice.
2 on Lengthened Sand, Edan on Lego.
I still think it's anyone's game. Let's see what happens. It'll be very exciting to see the end of this.
The advantage is muted a bit when you only get 5 modules off your own list on the bomb. Makes for a much more interesting dynamic, so while the bomb is a little tilted in your favor, the advantage is much less pronounced this time around.
Exactly. Both Procyon and Espic going in for a lengthened submission. Let's see if they both have similar answers as they're doing it on the exact same amount of solves. Oh, and Edan just struck on Legos. That could be a heartbreaker right there. And Espic does indeed get the lengthened and solve. Nicely done.
Exactly to your point, Caleb. What I mean by heartbreaker is where are you going to find that detail? Langton Zant strikes for Procyon. They need to fuss with the details as well. Where's their error? For Edan, where's his? Will they be able to recover as their timers accelerate?
Espic now taking a look at Quaver, which I believe has been solved by just Procyon and it's been briefly touched by Edan. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out. I don't know what else Espic has left to do. I believe he's holding Sens, and now he's taking a look at Quaver. What else could he possibly have? There is still that Jelly Beans that no one has touched yet so far.
Edan gets the Legos correct. He corrects his error.
Now he's also taking a look at Quaver.
Remember, whoever defuses with most time remaining or disarms the most modules without a tie wins the bomb. Arrows flooding out on Edan's screen. Espic gets Quaver.
Gets the solve. Nicely done. And Legos.
That's 9.
No, it's all down to Sens and Jelly Beans. And he's getting the Sens
No!
input. Oh, but that's a strike. Oh, no. This is really going to come down to the end here. Who can get this all in?
Everyone hitting a roadblock at some point. The clocks are just about even, essentially.
Exactly. Let's see how close this is. Can Espic find his mistake? Procyon getting the very colored squares to solve and taking a look at bridges now. Edan entering in Quaver. Let's see how this goes. Does he have the correct answer? He does indeed, and he solves Quaver.
What an incredible skill that is to be able to recognize all those arrows. I definitely have to set it on an easier mode, and it'd take me about 4 attempts. Census being fixed, and it's done for Espic. Now Jelly Beans, 1 to go.
Up, up, up.
You have to observe all those jelly
Right,
beans, I believe.
Down, left.
Yeah, it's you have to find a specific jelly bean that has
down.
no other adjacent jelly beans that are pointing in its direction. So
Oh, that's right. But the grid opens up the more you eat, so
Left.
exactly. So this is why it takes a little bit longer compared to other jelly bean models.
variable
or
solve
other
length
bean
as
models.
well. Procyon on bridges, Edan a mastermind cruel.
Down, right.
You see Edan's about working on that second color, essentially.
Up, down, left.
Oh,
And
no,
he
the
gets
other
it.
3 greens are right.
Yeah.
Wow. Was that
Left, up, up.
was that some
was
RNG
rather
getting that
quite-
single color right?
Right.
Rather quite lucky Mastermind Cruel colors there.
But of course the RNG is identical on all the bombs. Everyone's combination is blue, red, and 3 green. Quite the fluke. Big time saver, and there might be a chance for defusals.
Yes, indeed. So
I expect
now
the jelly beans are going down easy.
all Espic needs to do is solve jelly beans, but Edan might be able to catch him if he does jelly beans quick enough and happens to pop out a lengthened and submission. But Procyon going for another lengthened and submission. Here we go.
That's done.
And he gets it. Taking a look back over at sound design, which he appears to have fumbled with. And he gets it. All down to jelly beans. 10-10 between Espic and Procyon. This is going to be very, very close, but I think Espic might get it if he plays it safe right now.
The only way to differentiate is to solve, otherwise you're tied on 10.
Almost about half of the jelly beans have been eaten.
Adan now down to
Adan's
60
time.
seconds on the clock. So is Procyon. Adan's got jelly beans done. What's left? Langton's ant. Has he
Can
worked
he pull
on
it off?
And
And just
Espen
like that,
gets bomb 1 done and wins it.
that was a very, very close match. My God.
How close was this? Procyon eating beans in a hurry. Did Edan get Langton's ant done in time? Switching over to Edan's audio. Edan solved it! Procyon
Wow.
explodes. Wow. So it's Espik's bomb, but what a close finish that was. Espik winning the first of these 3 bombs, and it takes 2 to advance to the semifinals.
This is now Edan's advantage bomb, and taking a look, this is a much, much more difficult bomb. We have on this bomb, as we can see, a phosphorescence at that big, scary black module on the top middle on the front on the timer side, as well as a current and a Schlogden bomb as well.
2 of those are Espik's fault. His list. Percentage Gray being the 3rd. And Procyon's contributions were Schlogden Bomb, which they're looking at right now, 10-button color code, the devious module, and lasers.
Lasers, yes. So that means from Edan's list, we are looking at a grid matching, a light speed, a Legos, I believe I saw, a Pigpen cycle, and 3 tunnels, if I'm correct, right?
That is correct. Lego appearing twice, both times off Edan's list. Edan had a number of vetoes, 5 of them in fact, losing Hexium, the puzzling module, Silenced Simon, Snack Attack, which is a devious programming platform, as Espik has 2 solves already with that lasers submitted. And Procyon took away, where is it? Maze Cubed, Alphabet Tiles, and also Hexium.
Yeah, both of them probably did not want to handle that Hexium. That Hexium in general has made or break several bombs and matches as well.
Huge difference maker.
Absolutely. Both Espik and Procyon 2-2, while Edan is taking a look at Schlogden Bomb. Each of them actually looking at very different. Each of them looking at. Espik taking a look at that 10-button color code and doing it interactively, and Procyon taking a look at 3D tunnels, which can be another easy interactive to do. Espik completing the first stage of 10-button color code with no problems at all.
3 stages to do in 3D tunnels for Procyon. Here comes Edan, putting in 15 unplayed for Schlogden Bomb, of course. That's the easy part.
Procyon getting 3D tunnels.
38.
Procyon getting 3D tunnels done with no problems at all.
In the lead, trying to take a bomb as Espik has taken the first of 3. Schlogden Bomb strikes on Edan's side.
That could prove fatal.
Courtesy of Procyon's list, Schlogden Bomb delivering an early blow.
I believe Espik is also holding that 10-button color code submission. He has the second stage done, but he has not submitted it yet.
10-button color code is such a frightening module. There's nothing hard to understand about it, but that was a quick fix by Edan on Schlogden Bomb.
Procyon also solving Pigpen cycles super duper fast.
That's 5 solves for Procyon.
Yeah, look at him go. Both Espik and Edan taking a look at 3D tunnels. Edan getting done with 3D tunnels, no trouble there. And Espik submitting, I believe, his first input for 3D tunnels. Procyon now taking a look at Legos right now.
Espik gets 3D tunnels right. On to 3 solves. But Procyon seemingly running away at the moment with Edan's advantage bomb. Edan gets grid matching.
That can be definitely one of those that's just it's finding a rock in a hard place, but
Yeah, killer strike to take early. Were you theoretically to take it at the very beginning of the bomb, it's 3 minutes away, so it's not quite that much, but it's just about. As Edan contemplates lasers and tries to open those hatches in the correct order.
Aspect going for a Pigpen Cycle submission. Here we go.
So many of these modules have nitty-gritty details. If you get one letter wrong in Pigpen Cycle, one Lego out of place in Lego. If you get your boats misaligned in currents. Simultaneous submissions on Pigpen Cycle.
Yeah. Procyon now taking a look at Lightspeed, one of my personal favorite modules, and I love the concept of it. Let's see if Procyon can pull it off.
Pigpen Cycle solves for Espic.
Oh, and another strike from Edan on Pigpen Cycle. This bomb is not working out for him. Very, very unfortunate.
The odds slipping away. We're looking for one person to join two people off the Seed 1 matchup and one other person, the top performer in the Seed 3 quarterfinals. That'll make our 4. That'll make our EFM semifinals in spring 2021. Espic has the first of 3 bombs. Procyon looking currently to take the second. Espic's got all the pieces dialed in for Lightspeed, just needs an encryption code, and then we're launching this baby. Pigpen Cycle is devastating to strike on as well because the module resets now.
Indeed.
I don't think it
is now
has
engaging
to,
Lightspeed.
but it does.
Espic is engaging Lightspeed. Does it solve?
Yes.
It does indeed. Nicely done. Espic now taking a look at Legos, which can be another one that is very tricky for many, but Procyon had no problem with it. Procyon entering in encryption code. Here we go.
We had a strike on Lego's last bomb. Code's good for Procyon, engaging. Phosphorescence is probably going to get left for the end. Whoop. Okay,
no,
Procyon.
it's not.
Procyon makes a liar out of me. It is pretty much towards the end of the bomb, because the longer you wait to do it and the more solves you accrue in the meantime, the more time you have to do it later.
Yeah, so all that remains for Procyon's list, on Procyon's bomb, rather, is Phosphorescence, Currents, which I believe is another difficult module on here, and Grid Matching. So this will be very close, but I believe Procyon has a solid shot of getting this solved.
Both Grid Matching and Currents are very puzzly modules. Currents has an interactive. Grid Matching arguably should. I wonder if there's a way to implement that.
I think it would be very cool if we could there was a way we could input the whites and blacks and be able to just rotate it on a natural basis. Though that would probably take a little bit of implementing to do.
And it might still be hard to use as well. I'm not sure if it would gain much. Very interesting.
Yeah, it would be a little janky, wouldn't it?
Procyon is trying to put dots by any corner where there's only 1 or 3 colored boxes next to it, essentially. Getting
Espic
one dot
also
wrong
taking
will give a wrong letter.
Espic also taking a look at Phosphorescence.
On 5 solves, so less time.
But I believe he does have some captions, so I believe he will be holding that for the end of the bomb.
Won't matter if Procyon gets to the end first, but as you mentioned, some devious puzzly modules still to go as we tick down towards 7 minutes on the 0-strike bombs.
Edan trying to fight for this on this bomb with 6 solves currently right now, and taking a look at Lightspeed.
If this is if it's a 3-way 1-1-1 split, we do go to overtime, so
Input received.
Even though Edan is falling behind on this bomb, he is not out of this match by any means.
Exactly. It is still anyone's game at this point.
Input received.
2 phosphorescent solves in motion. Edan needs a code for Lightspeed. Procyon is at the submission step for Phosphorescence. Edan submitting Lightspeed, wants it to be right. Looking at Currents if it is. Yes.
It is, right. Good.
7 solved with only 3.5 minutes on the timer. A percent gray.
Oh, how does a strike from percent gray? But I believe that's just 100% right there.
And
Doesn't.
yeah, that's it. Gets it there.
That's a
Gotta
nice-
go for broke here. In the lead on solve counts. Hold everything. Hold all tickets. Procyon is inputting phosphorescence now. Here it comes.
Is that a solve? It is indeed a solve. Nicely done, Procyon.
Nice little rainbow
now
light
taking-
show to show that.
Oh, I stand corrected. Procyon does not have grid matching left. He has a 10-button color code and currents now.
I can understand the fear of 10-button color code.
It is on his list, though, so we'll see how he handles it. They handle it, excuse me.
Their list, yeah.
Espic going for an input, potentially.
There are the 8 letters, and now you see
They're
it,
not.
now you don't. That's an old game show reference.
Yep.
Procyon inputting stage 1. If Espic comes from behind here, and again there's solves in the bank, Espic wins it straight away after 2 bombs. If Procyon gets this one, or Edan, though with a minute left it's unlikely, if either of
Yeah.
them get it, we go to bomb 3 at the very least. But does Espic have phosphorescence? That's the
Not
stinger
sure
you're
for
hearing
a
at
second.
Edan's.
He's trying to input currents, I believe. Let's see if he can get it.
Espic submits
Espic going for the
phosphorescence. Lego's done. How about 10-button color code? Yes.
10-button color
Phosphorescence
code.
done. That's it.
The comeback might be very real here.
Hold
And
everything.
Edan's, yeah. Edan's bomb unfortunately got 8 solves. Still put up a very valiant fight with striking at the beginning early on.
Procyon
now
gets
had-
10-button color code and 10 solves as we listen to their mellow melodies, trying to equal this match.
Espic still has currents, Schlag, and I'm not sure what meaning. I believe he still has yet to touch grid matching, so let's see how this plays out.
3.5 minutes, 0 strikes, plenty of time.
Can Procyon get currents within this amount of time?
Sorry to keep interrupting you. Times being what they are. Oh, who are we kidding? You're also on the opposite side of the country.
Yeah, to be fair, exactly.
Other side of the United States of America. We've got a pretty good international audience here today.
Indeed.
Drop those boats down.
I must say, out of all of the matches of the quarterfinals, this is definitely one that I was the most excited for because these are 3 very, very good players in KTaNE.
C2
outside-
undersells them.
Yeah. outside of League, Edan is he was for quite some time the most solved mission thing on mission.
The master of
leaderboard
missions.
spreadsheet. Yes, I know names. But he is currently second right now, and Espic and Procyon are both on our team, Epic.
Oh, hello.
So, yeah, hello.
No, I'm saying hello because Espic is starting to cash in solves here, leaving
Here
Schlogden
we
bomb
go.
for last. Procyon submits current and gets it, and they've won bomb 2.
2 minutes right on the money.
How far behind
Awesome
was Espic
job.
with Schlogden bomb? Doesn't seem very, considering it's already being entered in.
So now it comes down to bomb 3. Can Edan get a win with this last one? This last bomb being in Procyon's advantage. This will be definitely interesting to see play out.
That's true, so Procyon's the favorite now.
Yeah.
While we wait for Espic to submit Schlogden bomb, let's have a look here. Oh, we had to reset.
At least he
Procyon,
didn't
let's go
strike.
over their vetoes right here. There's some of the usual suspects, although Procyon actually had 5 vetoes removed from their list. Edan took away... Let's see. Edan took away... Procyon, Simon Stores, Unfair Cipher, and Quintuples. And Espic took away also Quintuples, Cruel Countdown, and Red Cipher.
I think that both of them had very good vetoes, considering how strong some of those modules are for Procyon. Because, for example, there is no one that I know of that is good as at stores than Procyon. There is no one out there who can do it as fast or as good as Procyon out there.
Surprised
I don't know how he
double
does it.
vetoed in light of that. It's got such a reputation, as you mentioned, Caleb.
Yeah. Aspect trying to get that slog in. Can he do it? Oh, unfortunate.
Try another, quickly. Just making sure the sum wasn't wrong. And that will do it for bomb number 2. If Espic or Procyon wins bomb number 3, it is over. If Edan wins it, it is a triple split and we go to overtime. Sit back and enjoy. We're going down the stretch.
This will be rather quite the bomb to see. Already taking a look on here, there is... Oh, I just saw a Xenocryst pop up there. Oh boy. That'll be fun.
Black Hole Deluxe with its submission gestures, and you can't just memorize the same 5 over and over again.
Exactly. Procyon immediately taking a look at life iteration. No hesitancy there. Let's see if he can get it. Taking a look at this bomb as well. The dreaded Schlagden bomb returns again. Hopefully, let's see if Espic and Edan can potentially pull that off.
Edan looking at Mosu. The objective is to go straight through the white dots and an angle through the black dots. And make one continuous path as Espic hits solve number 1. Go ahead, Caleb.
Yep. Espic immediately getting X-Ray. No problem there. And taking a look at QuickTime events currently right now.
Literally a quick module. You have to input it within 8 seconds, I believe it is.
Indeed. Procyon getting life iteration with no trouble at all. Not even within the first minute of the bomb. Incredible.
Just because it's your module doesn't mean you have to do it first, but Procyon's super duper confident with it.
Exactly. Edan now taking a look at Pattern Cube. This one is an orientation heavy module.
That this everybody in League loves.
Yep. Definitely one of the more common modules on both Team and League, and EFM as well. Both Procyon and Edan going for the submission here. Espic now getting Mosu as well, and taking a look at Crystal Maze. Espic with the lead of 3 solves, but that doesn't mean he's necessarily out of the woods yet.
The more crystals you get, the more time you get in the crystal dome on the crystal maze, just like on the show. We've seen the strategy where people will forego the Aztec zone because of how time-consuming it is in the attempt to save time.
Procyon now getting Mosu, tying it up 3-3 with Espic.
That colorblind font on Xenocryst is funky. I like it.
It is.
As long as you can read it. The letters are kind of hollowed out there. There is a tax returns on this bomb, but because the timer on the module is 15 minutes and the bomb is 15 minutes, it makes little difference when you solve it, so players opting not to pay attention.
Kind of takes away the whole purpose of the 15 minutes. Will give you a strike.
It's amazing how all these modules are just in the weeds, and tax returns is definitely one of those in the weeds modules. So many expenses and turnovers to completely misplace.
Exactly.
And again, come on, for the Americans, we just did tax season.
Exactly. That much is true. Thankfully, I didn't have to do taxes this season, so...
Procyon has 10 seconds to get 15 gold credits, is going for it right now. Can they? 15 on the green? Yes. That's done.
Yes, they do.
17, no less.
Yeah.
There's that misordered keys you mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Caleb, for Edan.
This one can really, really bite you in the butt if you're not careful with it. Espic now taking a look at Pattern Cube. Eden and Procyon are tied 4-4. This will be very, very close. So far, no strikes from anyone. Procyon getting X-Ray. Now taking a look at tax returns.
Already? What about memorable buttons to your left? It's so much easier. Oh my goodness, that is confidence.
I do believe that Eden can actually solo memorable buttons if I'm correct. So that will be very nice and quick for him.
That memorable, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
11 minutes remaining. Espic and Procyon, 1 bomb each.
3-4 fun. Very, very close. Still a whole bunch of difficult stuff left for each person, and each looking at their very difficult modules respectively.
I think we've seen all the modules essentially at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think either of the other players have touched Espic's QuickTime events. Nobody's going after misordered keys but Eden, and Procyon is being the bravest with tax returns, so right now it seems like everyone's confident with their own modules and not many of everyone else's.
Eden going potentially for a submission on misorder. Does get the solve. Very nicely done. Now taking a look at life iteration. Yeah, misordered's rules can be very janky and they can get you. Procyon going for a tax return solve. And gets it. Nicely done.
Unique, distinct, to the point of misordered keys. Nice tax return solve.
Going for a Schlag. Looking at Schlag, Procyon right now. Espic cruising through memorable buttons, almost at the end submission.
Just because it's easy doesn't mean it can't be a time advantage. Like you mentioned, if Eden can solo it, all you're trying to do is just gain edges over your opponents.
At this point, every second counts. Espic getting memorable buttons, no problem there. Taking a look at misordered now.
Still tight solve counts as we've gotten through the first third of the bomb. First 40% more so at this state. Now the misordered keys. Schlag input for Procyon. Do they have it?
I believe they're double checking to make sure that it all adds up.
Gets it.
Indeed it does. Now taking a look at QuickTime events. Indeed for the submission for life iteration. Let's see, does he have it? Indeed he does.
No strikes yet on this very devious final bomb. Procyon going for QuickTime events. Only a few seconds to get each input. 8 seconds, I believe it is.
I believe it's actually 7, if I recall correctly.
Oh, just like a duel in a
quick.
game show.
It's quick. Let's say that.
Yes!
Procyon now taking a look at this. Yep.
Here comes Eden on memorable buttons. How quick? Very quick, that's the answer.
Does have a substantial lead right now, but we still have a misorder to deal with. This one really can get you. I don't know what else Procyon has left. I believe memorable buttons they haven't touched on yet.
Eden has one strike. It must have been a recent one.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see that either.
It must be memorable buttons by the way he zoomed into it.
Yeah, maybe. Espic now taking a look at life iteration. I believe he's holding solves currently. That would make sense because misorder does also reset on strike, which can be very, very nasty.
Could have another one of those asymmetrical finishes. Eden on the final stage of memorable buttons.
So far, I don't believe anyone besides Espic has even remotely looked at Xenochrist, so could be coming down to that last module.
Eden needs to get this bomb to stay alive. The strike does make it harder, but it did come late enough that it might not be awful.
Procyon
Memorable
with
buttons is
misorder.
done.
Procyon gets misordered as well. Procyon has memorable buttons and Xenochrist left. Will he be able to get it in time?
Edan, 10 seconds on the Crystal Maze. Do or die here. 5 seconds.
Can he
Needs
pop
half the credit still. Oh, Edan did not get there in time.
He does not get it. Very unfortunate.
Lots of flashing colors on Xenochrist. It's a sequence of colors, essentially, which will determine when to tap, hold, and release between pulses of that devious, pulsing cube of sorts in the middle.
Aspic now holding life iteration as well. Aspic has quite a few modules left. He's got a tax returns and a Schlog as well, which could slow him down. We don't even know if his misorder.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's going to be really all down to those answers if he has them right. Let's see what happens.
Procyon's starting to churn through memorable buttons. Faster they get through this, the more time they have for the Xenochrist at the end.
5, 7, and 9.
Devious module off Espic's list.
Mm-hmm.
Edan down to 4 minutes on his timer as he stares down Xenochrist, having just come off a Crystal Maze strike. So with only 2/3 of that remaining, this will be tough to bounce back from. Actually, it'll be 2/3 of the timer left, so it's 2:20 now at this point. Espic and Procyon on 1 each. Procyon gets memorable buttons done.
All down to Xenochrist.
One more solve from Procyon, and they advance to the semifinals. Edan is hovering the Xenochrist like he's submitting it.
Can he get it?
Or is he hovering it? Hard to tell.
Hard to tell, yeah.
No, did not.
Oh, I saw that little red strike up top.
Nice custom status light.
Yeah, indeed.
Espic pondering tax returns, Procyon on Xenochrist. Edan regrettably falling out of this, I'm afraid, after a valiant effort.
Yeah.
Who will take Bomb 3? How much does Espic have in the can? Seemingly only 5 solves, but what happens after tax returns?
I don't even know if he's done the work.
Xenochrist.
I don't even know if Espic has done the work for Xenochrist. I know that I remember him looking at it earlier on.
Does not
and a
get
strike
tax
on
returns. Now, where's the flood? Here it comes.
Here it comes. Does he have misordered? Indeed.
But without tax
Going
returns,
for
what do you do? 10-second dome, here it comes.
Going for the Crystal Maze.
Is Espic still in this? Edan out on 7 solves. And Espic gets the 15. That's done. 8 solves. Both staring the Xenochrist down. Espic will have to revisit that tax returns at some point.
Yeah. I believe it was very, very close. A very close answer compared to Procyon's. But not close enough. You can only be off by €1 on that module. But a strike on Xenochrist from Espic.
Increasingly, it seems as though Procyon has done this. If so, Procyon will have the 2 bombs and will advance. But strikes on Xenochrist themselves.
Oh my.
But Espic is the one who needs solves.
He does have the lead on this. But
And
anything's game at this point.
Oh, Procyon knows the answer. I think they're just not getting the answer submitted in the way you do. It is such a difficult coordination exercise. And
and another strike.
And to be fair, I thought Quaver was impossible. These 3 are definitely very coordinated enough to do something like this. But
Yeah.
it is
Oh, another
such
strike from
a
Procyon.
frustrating module. Procyon does not have the Xenocryst,
Oh
or
no.
just can't get the timing down.
4 strikes. No. Oh no.
But can Espic get the 2 solves? If not, Procyon is on their way. $30, 2 strikes, so it's really 20 for Espic. How do you find the solves? Procyon explodes on 10. Espic's got to do something, and Espic does not have Schlogden Bomb. And blows himself up, and Procyon, with 2 bombs won, advances to the semifinals.
We can just take a minute to appreciate Espic's 69 in that last
That's either.
exchange
flipping
right
around.
there with Slog.
Well, what a fantastic matchup that was. So
Oof.
Procyon will advance to the semifinals against the top 2 bomb getters from the Seed 1 quarterfinal matchup and the top performer in the Seed 3 quarterfinal matchup. And that's our 4 for the semifinals.
A
Well-
very, very, very close match with all 3 competitors. Very, very well done. These bombs and lists were no doubt very tricky. So that was a very exciting match to watch, and it was nail biting at some bits.
Even Edan on 0 made a very, very good run at that, and then Espic and Procyon, all 3 of them putting on a show. And what a treat it was to watch, Caleb. Any final thoughts
Indeed it
before we
was.
close this video out?
Not really. No.
Well, in that case, as always, I always forget to say thanks to Elias for organizing this tournament. Make sure to subscribe to his channel here so that you catch all the rest of the exciting EFM semifinal, remaining quarterfinal, and championship action. And don't forget, and thank you all of you for watching as well. My name's Yabagai.
My name's Crazy Caleb, and as always, stay crazy, stay cool.
There it is. Bye-bye!
Yeah.